This is the Nova R health tracking smart ring. I reviewed it a couple of months ago and I've been wearing it ever since. I've been pretty happy with its performance. Nova has sent me a production or pre-production evaluation copy of their new Nova S smart ring. And this one has an upgraded charging case and setup, and their recovery software is supposed to be reworked for this. And so they've asked me to review this as well. So we're not going to pay too much attention to the packaging. I'm not certain if that's the final packaging, but we're mostly going to look at the ring and case. And they say that the ring is mostly similar. The major difference I see right off the bat is that there's two charging pads here, whereas this ring has a single kind of disc with a spot in the center. And of course, it comes with a charging case as opposed to just kind of this desk stand charger. So the charging case does take a USB-C cable, but it has a built-in battery, and when you put the ring in it, it will magnetically attach to those two ports, and you can see here this light turns on and it is charging the ring in the case. So you can take the case with you if you're traveling. And I personally, the size-wise here is about the same, but I like the case better than the stand for two reasons. Obviously it has a battery, so you don't need a power cord to go with you, but also it doesn't have this thing sticking out of it. It kind of, protects and holds the ring, so if this was in your bag, you know where the ring is. You can carry this in a bag, but you really have to put it on a counter to put the ring on to charge it. Now you do have to get these two little metal pieces kind of lined up, but they mostly magnetically attach once you drop it in. So if you drop it in the wrong way, it's not going to work, but if you take that little divot, make sure it's to the back, it snaps in place and then starts charging. So while the ring is charging, it flashes orange. The manual says that when it's done charging, it turns green for 10 seconds and then turns off. So I think basically when the light turns off, it's fully charged. There is also a small red light inside the ring that lights up when you're charging it. It's really not too noticeable unless you're looking for it, so the case light is probably your better indicator there. I've been wearing the Nova S ring and using this charging case for about the last month. When it's working, it works just like the Nova R ring, collects data, everything's fine. Problem I've ran into is that it unreliably seems to shut off and stop collecting data. The only way to get it to start back up and then connect to your phone is to put it in the case. As soon as you do, once it starts charging, it wakes back up. Phone can connect to it via Bluetooth, you can download the data, and it keeps working for a while. So it seems like about once a day it'll just shut down, and it doesn't appear to be a battery issue because after you wake it up again, it'll report 100%, 80%, whatever the battery percentage was, and keep working for a long time after that. So I think it might be some type of a firmware issue, but for whatever reason it's shutting down randomly. Mostly it doesn't happen at night. I've had a couple of places where there's a couple hours of gap of data at night, but mostly overnight it works fine. But usually during the day, sometime during the day, I'll try to connect to it with the phone app and it won't connect. And that's my clue that, okay, it's shut down. I put it in the case. As soon as it starts charging, it wakes back up, the phone connects to it. It'll download the data up until the point where it shut down, and then I'll have a gap of data from where it shut down to where I woke it up, and then it'll just keep working. So I can't recommend this ring right now. It could be something that's easily fixed with a firmware update. I've checked, there's not currently a firmware update for it. But right now, the Nova R ring is more reliable. It reliably keeps working until the battery runs down after 3 or 4 days. And so as long as you charge it every 3 or 4 days, you're fine. I really did like the charging connector here. It's easy to snap into the case and charge. You can take the case with you. It's, I think, a little better form factor than the R-Rings charger that has a USB port and it kind of just sits out in the world. But I'm going to be switching back to my Nova R-Ring just because it reliably collects data all day and never shuts down and stops collecting data. I don't know what the exact problem is. I'm not sure if there's something in the firmware where it's not able to connect to the phone after a certain amount of time with Bluetooth and it shuts off, or if it's just some error. I'm not sure what's going wrong. I did notice a couple of times the green lights were kind of staying on and not flickering like they normally do when they measure. So it's possible that firmware gets in some weird state, some infinite loop or something, and it just shuts off. But I can't really recommend the ring.